So we are going to walk through how to submit your documents for compliance review and get paid in Command. So to get started, I'm going to go to my opportunities, which is the icon of the two hands shaking over on the left. And I'm going to go to an opportunity that I have already created. So I like to click on all opportunities. It's just easier for me. Then I'm going to come down here to 1234 Main Street. And this is an opportunity that I created previously for a DocuSign training. So I have all the details of my offer here. I'm going to come over to documents. Now this is a listing, but it'd be the same process of whether it were a buyer or a seller. I'm going to come to under contract. And now here's a list of all the documents that I need to submit, or the required documents that I need to submit to Lynn and Alita for compliance review. So up at the top here, you can see it says attach files from, and it says it's going to default to DocuSign because it does have a DocuSign rooms attached to this opportunity. But I do have the ability to upload directly from my computer. If you want to use DocuSign, you need to select the working folder. The room docs folder is going to be the default folder in DocuSign where all of your documents will go into. But if you've created other folders to help organize your room, it'll show all those there. So you want to be sure to select the working folder. And that will give you the ability to then go through here and see all of the signed documents that you have available to add to your opportunity. But for today, I'm just going to upload from my computer just for simplicity. So I'm going to come over here to this contract that I have. So I'm going to upload my purchase and sale agreement. So I'm just going to drag and drop that right there. My earnest money right here. My seller's property disclosure. Lead-based paint. Community association disclosure. And then my loan exhibit. And I'm just going to drag that over there. And those are all the documents that I have for now. So I am ready to submit this to MC. So what I would do now is I would click submit to MC, and this would submit all of my documents to Lynn and Alita for compliance review. I'm not actually going to click submit to MC because I don't want Lynn and Alita to think this is an actual contract today. But if you had an actual one, please be sure to submit MC to MC. If you do not click submit to MC, Lynn and Alita will not be able to review your documents. And therefore you will not know if you are compliant or not and won't be able to get paid. Once you have submitted your documents for compliance, your next step is to come over here to offers and commissions. So I'm going to click on the offers and commissions tab. Now you'll notice here there are no offers, which is fine. The idea of the offers tab, offers and commission, is that the offers functionality will allow you to review and evaluate multiple offers side by side. However, you need to at least have one offer in the system for you to be able to create a commissions tab. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right here. I'm going to click add new offer. And I'm going to name this 1234 Main Street binding contract. Now we're already under contract, so I don't actually need to review different offers, but so I'm just going to name this binding contract and create offer. And I'll just walk through the next couple of steps and fill in the required information. So we'll do offer date. Let's do November 1st. Close date, we'll do November 30th. Parties, seller, we have Tony Stark here, and then buyer, we'll just have John Doe. So you'll notice that some of these fields have red asterisks next to them. Those are the required fields. Fill in as much of the information as you have, and of course, all of the required information. We'll do buyer's agent. All right. Double check all of my information, click terms. Now it's going to ask us to fill in the information about the actual terms of this offer. So you'll notice here it has a mixture of cash and finance amount for the total sales price. This information is going to come from your loan exhibit. So if you know that your client's going to be putting 20% down, so let's say we have let me pull out my little calculator here. We have a contract for $350,000 and my clients are going to put 20% down. So I'm just going to multiply that. So they're going to do 70,000 in cash. And then we'll do 280 in financing. And that will total the sales price of $350,000. So you'll need to include that correct information. And this again will come from your either your conventional loan exhibit, your FHA or VA, or all cash exhibit. If you have all cash, which is fine, you can just do the full sales price there. So it doesn't matter. Then we have earnest money. And this is going to be the amount of money that your client, that the buyer is going to put down to show that they have interest and put a little skin in the game for the transaction. You'll see we have two boxes here. One's percentage and one is the earnest amount. If you're just doing 1%, you can just type in 1%. Oh, this isn't long enough. There we go. Just type in 1% and it'll automatically calculate the earnest amount here. Or if you have a random number, you can type that in, that amount in, and it will auto populate the percentage of that earnest money. Next, we have our option fee. Option fees are not widely and commonly used. If you are going to use that, you can put in that information here. I would recommend checking with Lynn and Alita before you use an option with your clients. There's a lot of information that goes into that. And you want to make sure you protect your client appropriately. Below that, we have termination option. Buyer will give notice of termination within blank days after contract. In Georgia, we call that due diligence. So you'll put in the number of days of due diligence that you've negotiated. So I will put 7 because that's what I negotiated for this contract. Now, if you have 0, you can put 0 in, or if you have 30 days of due diligence, which is probably not going to happen, you could put all of that in there. It's fine. Seller costs. Seller will contribute blank to a residential service contract. So if the seller is going to pay for a home warranty or anything like that, you can include that here. So if you have a contract that says seller to pay $500 for a home warranty, include that $500 here. And then seller will contribute blank to settlement costs. So if you have negotiated the seller to pay some contribution to closing costs, you can include that here. So I'm going to put in $8,000. Any questions so far on what we've gone through?
No. So far.
All right.
And these all get uploaded to the YouTube, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sure like when I'm actually doing it, I would have to go through and like follow along.
All right. Perfect. Well, feel free to interrupt me if you have any questions as I'm going through this. Okay. So I'm going to click next to agent analysis. Now here you can write in some pros and cons of the offer. This is really going to come in benefit when you are actually comparing multiple offers. For today, since I just want to submit my documents for compliance review and get paid, I don't need to fill this out. These aren't required. But do know that if you are actually using the offers capability to compare, please be sure to fill that in. And then I'm going to click save. Now you can see here is my offer, all that information that I just put there. Buyer pre-approved. Now my next step is to accept this. If I need to, I can click on these 3 dots and I can add negotiation, I can edit, I can add analysis, I can send offer. So if you were going to actually want to compare multiple offers here and send that to your client for review, you can, or remove offer. But I'm going to accept this because this is what we went under contract with. So I'll click accept. Now, when I click accept, it gives me the ability to change response or manage commission. What you need to do now is click manage commission. And this is going to take us into the commission tab. And this is where we put in all of the financial information that the MCA office will need to know to process our check. So similar to what we just did, we'll just kind of start at the top and work our way down, filling in all of the blank fields and all the required information. So we'll start here, edit general information, sales price, double check that, our commission rate, make sure that's correct for your transaction. It's going to ask us to verify the contract dates. We said November 1st, close date, November 30th, save changes, and we'll update appropriately. If you need to add another agent to your transaction or a co-broker payment, you can add that here. So if you are co-listing or working with another agent for you're both representing a buyer, you can add his or her information here. Then down here, we'll fill out the actual payment information. So this is going to pre-populate, but we want to double check it. So I always recommend clicking edit agent payment. So my name, number of agent units. So this is going to be 1 unit. So I'm selling 1 house in this transaction based on my $350,000 sales price. My commission is $10,500. Then based on my associate royalty of the 6% to KWRI, it calculates that. And then also for my 30% to KWFA, it calculates that. Now, if you want to, you have some additional deductibles that you can donate. So if you want to donate to a BOLD scholarship or KW Cares or KW Kids Can, you can add that in here. You can just type in however much you want to donate. You do also have the ability to set this up as a recurring donation. So that way you can set it, set your command. So every time you create a new commission, it'll automatically set, $5 or $10 to come out of your payment. I would recommend that if you have the ability to donate, every dollar counts, and it's used for agents in our office, in our region, if and when something terrible happens to them. And then if you have any other additional items that you need to have come out of payment, you can do that here. Bonus, concession, deduction. So if you just need to put in like, oh, I agreed to pay $500 for house cleaning or something, you could put that in there. Once your numbers look good, click Save Changes. Then we'll come up to the top over here to the summary. Again, just double check the numbers. I would recommend, in addition to looking at the numbers here in Command, try to keep your own tracker for your commissions. So that way you can double check. I would say 9 times out of 10, Command is going to be correct. The MC office will be correct. But there will be times where there's a little bit of an error or some, they take too much out or they don't take enough. So since you are a business owner, be sure to track those numbers so that way you can double check them to make sure this is correct. Now, before you submit here, we want to add a note. And one thing that the MCA office needs is the FMLS number for this transaction. So I'm going to copy that FMLS number out of FMLS and just paste that here. And then if there are any other pieces of information that you need to put in here, you can add in productivity coaching. Actually, let me update this to say first closing in productivity coaching. Save changes. Now from here, you click submit. Again, I'm not actually going to click submit because I don't want to send this to the MCA office and have them think it is a real transaction. But here you'd click submit, and this would send it over, and they would be aware of your transaction. Once you click submit for your commissions, there's one more step that you need to do. And that is going to be to submit a proof of contract. And this is an additional form that the MCA office has put together. So I'm going to go to kwfa.info. And then I'm going to come down here to the bottom right-hand corner to quick links. And it says notice of contract. I'm going to click on that, and it's going to open up a DocuSign Power Form. And a Power Form is just something that the MCA office has put together, so that way you can fill it out in a web browser. You don't actually have to go through DocuSign, but it uses the DocuSign system. So I'm just going to fill out all the required information. So here's my name, my email address. Then I'll click begin signing. Give this a second to load. All right. So just fill in all of the information here. So to start at the top and fill in all the information that you have. So this is the address is 1234 Main Street, Atlanta, Georgia 30342. Binding date is November 1st. This is a residential contract, but you could select new construction or commercial. Our FMLS number. So I'm going to copy that from FMLS. Now it's very important that you include the FMLS number here as well as in the commissions tab, because we are an FMLS contracted office that all of our transactions, if we are the listing agent, must be put into FMLS. And this will help calculate our fees correctly. And then I'm also going to get the Georgia MLS number. And I'm going to paste that in here. Coaching fee owed. So if you're in productivity coaching, you'll want to select yes. If you use a contract to close vendor like the Churchwell Group or the Lyft program, you would want to include their name here and the fee that you're paying for them. Is KWFA holding the earnest money? Select yes. Earnest money amount, 4250. Days to deliver. So based on the contract, the buyer is required to give earnest money within 3 days. And then earnest status, already on hold, mailed by client. Agent to deliver, client to deliver, earnest or other. So I used deposit link. So I'm going to include that here. Am I paying a referral fee? Nope, because this is just my client. And then if you have any additional comments that you want to include here, one thing I like to do personally when I'm submitting documents for the MCA office is to let them know if this transaction is going to be the transaction that I cap on. So I'd say something like, this is the last transaction needed to cap for 2021. And so that way they know they should just double check it, that I should through this transaction not have to pay the full 30%, because I will just have to pay the difference.
Okay, I was gonna ask that. If you're sitting like right below, if you're like $100 away from $18,000 cap, they'll only take up to 18,000, right?
Correct. So if you have, let's say you have 4 closings and you've paid 17,500 of your cap.
Right.
On that next closing, they're only going to take 500 out.
Okay.
But I just like to include this information here. Just the more information I can provide to the MCA office, excuse me, the better. Because think about it, they have 500 agents that they have to process closings for. So the easier I can make it for them to not have to hunt down information. And as much as I would love for Kyle and Becca, Michael and Terry to know everything about me and know my cap status, the more information I can provide, the easier it will be.
Right.
And then once you are done here, click sign. And then you would click finish. And this would send this document to the MCA office and it would provide them with that information that they need. I'm not actually going to click finish because I don't want to send this to the MCA office. This is the process of going through and submitting your documents for compliance review and your offers and commissions tab. What questions do you have? What can I show you again? Anything I can clarify for you?
I mean, it's pretty simple. I think, like I said, the only thing when I do it, I'm just gonna have to go and like watch the video, like the YouTube, and just go step by step, because obviously it's hard to remember it all without doing it once. But maybe could you go back to the very beginning, like just creating, like going from the opportunity, that initial like first step?
Yeah. So I go to my opportunities. I like to go to all opportunities because I can just see a list of all of them.
Right.
I come here to my 1, 2, 3, 4 Main Street. Give that a second to load. Here's all the information about this transaction. I'll come to documents. Then on the left-hand side, I'm going to come to under contract, because this is where I need to submit my actual purchase and sale agreement. So I've gone through and I've uploaded all of my documents here.
Okay, so at this point, you've already actually submitted the actual offer.
So at this point, I've gone under contract on a transaction.
Okay. Gotcha. So this is just how to get paid and like do the official like stuff for the office.
Yeah. So once you go back and forth with your agent, with the buyer's agent or the listing agent, and you're under contract, then you have to submit the actual purchase and sale agreement and all those exhibits to Lynn and Alita for compliance review. And that's what I've uploaded here. So my purchase and sale, property disclosure, lead-based paint, community association disclosure, and my loan exhibit.
Gotcha.
Click submit to MC. That'll let Lynn and Alita know that there are new documents for them to review. Then once I do that, I'll come over to offers and commissions. I create a new offer. Even though I'm under contract, I'll just go ahead and name it binding contract and fill in all of the information about this transaction. Again, if I needed to, I can edit the offer, add analysis, send offer. You'll notice it no longer allows me to remove offer because I've clicked on manage commission. So there is an open MCA file for this transaction. You can change response. I'll click into manage commission, so I can edit my general information here. Go through, double check all of my information and payment information, so that way I'm double checking that the MCA office is taking the right amount out for my cap and any other nonprofit deductions I want to make. And then click submit. Let me come back over here. And then once you submit your commission here, that's when you go to kwfa.info and then come down here to the notice of contract document and fill this in.
I think I got it.
Yeah. It's not hard, just a handful of steps, but obviously when you haven't actually done it yet, it's a little bit more to remember, but once you go through that transaction that first time, it'll be pretty easy. Any other questions or anything else I can clarify for you this morning?
All right now.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me this morning. And obviously, as you're playing around in command, working on any contracts, please don't hesitate to reach out. Always happy to help.
Yeah, definitely. I will.
Thanks, John.
All right. Thanks, Nick.